GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon. Our lead story today, a Montreal couple discovered they paid more after rebooking a flight despite a 25% discount thanks to dynamic pricing. With the Quebec holiday, many shops are closed and SDM holiday service runs with minor road work on Montreal Road. Over to you, Jeff.
The Montreal Open Air Book Fair opens Friday afternoon at Parc La Fontaine, featuring over 50 local authors, live readings, and a pop-up children's storytelling tent.
Tickets are free, and the fair will also host a weekend poetry slam on Saturday evening, inviting audience members to share original verses.
Food vendors will line the park's main promenade, offering poutine, maple-glazed donuts, and vegan options, while a local jazz quartet provides background music from noon until dusk.
The fair runs through Sunday night, drawing families and literature lovers alike. For everyone, lots to get to. Let's begin. Good morning, Montreal.
Today, a Montreal couple who had booked a round-trip Air Canada flight discovered that rebooking to capture a 25% promotional discount actually left them paying a higher amount than the original purchase. The airline applied the discount to the fare, but its dynamic pricing algorithm subsequently raised the base price, so the revised tickets were slightly above the initial cost. The passengers who rebooked through the carrier's website said the unexpected increase forced them to absorb the extra expense despite the advertised savings. Pricing analysts noted that the episode illustrates how airlines adjust fares in real time, sometimes offsetting discounts with upward price movements. Experts are urging carriers to provide clearer breakdowns of how promotional offers interact with dynamic pricing, arguing that greater transparency would help consumers understand the true net benefit of such deals.
Today, the province observes the Fête Nationale du Québec, and a sweeping list of Montreal establishments will remain shut. Retail shops across the island, from corner dépanneurs to larger department stores, are closed for the holiday. Banking branches and post offices pause operations, while municipal offices and many school boards keep their doors locked. Public transit runs on a reduced schedule, and several cultural venues and restaurants announce a day off for staff. The holiday marks the anniversary of the 1837-38 rebellions, and the citywide pause reflects the tradition of honoring Quebec's national identity. Residents planning errands are advised to check individual hours, as the closures affect a broad swath of services throughout the day. Libraries and community centers also suspend regular programming, and many health clinics operate on emergency-only schedules. Even the city's main administrative offices, including the mayor's office, remain closed, reinforcing the province-wide observance.
Emma Maltese inked a 2-year contract on Friday to join the reigning professional women's hockey league champions, the Montreal Victoire. The 30-something forward arrives after 3 seasons with the Scepters, bringing proven scoring ability to a roster fresh off a Walter Cup title. Victoire management said the signing bolsters depth on the wing and signals intent to defend the championship for at least the next 3 seasons. Maltese, a native of the island, expressed excitement about playing for a club that has become the league's benchmark. The deal runs through the 2028 to 2029 campaign, aligning with the team's long-term plan to maintain its dominance on the ice. The agreement also includes performance bonuses tied to playoff advancement and league scoring leader honors. Fans can expect to see her debut early in the upcoming season at Place Bell, where the Victoire host their home games.
Yesterday, Tennis Canada unveiled plans for a new stadium in Montreal equipped with a retractable roof. The facility, slated for construction in the coming months, aims to meet the rising standards of professional tennis tour. Officials say the roof will allow matches to continue despite rain, giving players and fans a reliable schedule. The stadium is positioned as a key piece of the sport's growth strategy, offering a modern venue that can host larger draws and higher-profile events. By adding a venue that matches the expectations of the ATP and WTA circuits, Tennis Canada hopes to attract more top-ranked players to the city and boost the local economy. The project also aligns with recent investments in sports infrastructure across the province, signaling confidence in Montreal's ability to host world-class tournaments.
Residents on Rue Fox spent Monday clearing water from dozens of houses after the western Pierre FON neighborhood endured a 3rd flood this year. Torrential rain over the weekend swamped basements and ground floor rooms, forcing families to evacuate and leave belongings soaked. Volunteers, many also damaged, moved furniture, pumped out standing water, and set up drying fans while municipal crews checked structural safety. Power was briefly cut in several blocks, and utility crews restored service by late afternoon. The city's emergency management team distributed sandbags and deployed pumps to vulnerable streets, with the fire department assisting in dewatering. Neighborhood associations organized collection points for wet clothes and food, helping affected families stay afloat. Local officials said heavy precipitation was the primary cause despite recent drainage upgrades. Residents reported no injuries, but many now face months of wall, flooring, and electrical repairs.
Later, we'll hear how a former Quebec soldier faced justice on 7 terrorism-related charges and what it means for us. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you're still with us. Now let's turn to Jeff Laflamme for the latest local stories you need to hear.
The court heard a former Quebec soldier admit guilt on 7 of 11 terrorism-related counts on June 23. The charges stem from an arrest in 2025 when the Royal Canadian Mounted Police seized illegal firearms and controlled materials during a probe into violent extremism. At the time of his detention, the man was an active member of the Canadian military. The plea also implicates 3 other men who remain part of the broader investigation. The hearing took place at the Quebec court, and the judge entered the admission without reservation. Authorities have not disclosed whether the other suspects have been formally charged. Prosecutors said the case forms part of an ongoing RCMP effort to disrupt facilitation of terrorism. The defendant faces sentencing that will consider the seriousness of the firearm offenses and the alleged extremist links. The outcome adds another chapter to Canada's focus on domestic terror threats.
Saturday, June 20th, the City of Montreal announced a slate of flood mitigation projects for the West Island after a series of flash floods battered the area. Officials say the most recent deluge flooded dozens of homes, adding to 4 floods recorded since 2017. The plan calls for new sponge parks, which absorb excess rainwater, and additional retention basins to hold runoff before it reaches streets. Municipal leaders stressed that these measures aim to protect neighborhoods from future storms that have become more intense in recent years. Residents who endured the latest inundation will see construction begin later this summer, with priority given to the most vulnerable districts. The city will coordinate with West Island municipalities to ensure the infrastructure aligns with local needs and long-term climate resilience goals.
On June 22nd, the Hockey Hall of Fame announced its latest class of 4 players, with Carey Price joining Pekka Rinne, Keith T. Tkachuk, and Cindy Curley. The ceremony will take place in Montreal, marking another chapter in the Hall's tradition of honoring athletes whose careers have left a lasting imprint on the sport. Price, a 2-time Vezina winner and longtime Canadiens goaltender, adds a recent era to a roster that already includes Rinne, a former Vezina recipient, and T. Tkachuk, known for his gritty scoring. Curley, a standout from the women's game, also earns a spot in the player category, reflecting the Hall's broader recognition of contributions across gender lines. Each inductee's career statistics and leadership qualities helped secure election, reflecting the Hall's annual commitment to celebrate hockey's most influential figures.
Intense rain over the weekend of June 20th-21st drenched West Montreal and the South Shore, flooding hundreds of homes. Water surged into basements and streets, leaving families scrambling to protect belongings. Residents are pointing fingers at the city, saying drainage systems failed to cope with the deluge. Municipal officials responded that the storm's magnitude exceeded normal capacity, and that responsibility for preparedness is shared among provincial agencies, developers, and homeowners. Emergency crews worked through the night to pump out water and distribute sandbags, while utility teams restored power to affected blocks. The flood has sparked a debate about infrastructure investment and the need for coordinated storm water planning across the region. As cleanup continues, many households face costly repairs and temporary displacement. Several schools postponed classes on Monday, and major roadways experienced temporary closures. Insurance adjusters reported a surge in claims as water damage assessments began.
Police Chief of the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal will sit down behind closed doors with members of the City Council's Public Safety Commission on Monday, June 22nd. The private session is intended to give municipal elected officials a direct briefing on current policing challenges and to coordinate strategies that affect neighborhood security, traffic enforcement, and emergency response. By meeting without media presence, the chief can discuss operational details that the commission oversees as part of its mandate to shape local safety policy. Residents can expect any agreements reached to influence patrol patterns, community outreach, and resource allocation in the weeks ahead, although specifics will emerge only after the discussion. The gathering underscores the formal link between the police service and the elected body responsible for public safety oversight.
Now let's turn to the weather team for a quick look at this afternoon's conditions. A stagnant ridge and a western jet stream keep Montreal dry, warm, and gently breezy through the afternoon. On this date, the all-time high for Montreal stands at 35.6 degrees Celsius, recorded in 2025 during a lingering heat wave that pushed the city into the mid-30s for several days. The all-time low is 11.5 degrees Celsius, set in 2016 when an Arctic blast slipped south behind a fast-moving trough, dropping temperatures well below the norm. By contrast, the climatological average for June 24 is a high of about 22 and a low near 14, illustrating how today's warmth sits comfortably above normal but far from the record scorch. The live radar shows a clear, featureless return across southern Quebec and the St. Lawrence corridor. No echo is detected anywhere within the province, confirming a dry air mass that has been entrenched since the morning. This stability stems from the lingering high pressure aloft and the modest western jet, which together suppress ascent and keep moisture locked out. Expect the quiet to persist through the evening. At noon, the city sits under partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 19 degrees and a dew point of 12, giving a comfortable humidity level. A steady high-pressure ridge dominates the region, while a western jet stream of roughly 76 kilometers per hour rides aloft, steering any disturbance well north of us. With the ridge in place, the atmosphere remains stable and sunshine will dominate the afternoon. Temperatures will climb to 24 by early evening, then ease to 23 as the sun sets around 8:46. UV index 6 will peak midday. Winds will stay light, around 10 kilometers per hour from the west, gusting to 21. No weather alerts are in effect. Looking ahead, Thursday brings a cooler high of 23 with a low near 16 as a moist frontal band pushes in, delivering scattered showers and a 40% chance of rain. Friday deepens the wet pattern, the high drops to 21, the low holds at 16, and the rain probability rises to 60%, keeping the day mostly overcast. Saturday sees the front lift, allowing temperatures to rebound to 24 while clouds linger but precipitation eases. Sunday offers a bright break with a high of 26, a low of 16 and clear skies, perfect for outdoor activities. Monday caps the stretch with the warmest reading of 27, a low of 17 and mainly clear conditions, signaling a return to summer-like weather. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll check the traffic updates with STM Holiday Service and Highway 174 construction, then dive into the Canadians' draft buzz. We will be right back. Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Construction on Montreal Road at the Highway 174 interchange has narrowed the corridor to a single lane in each direction. Expect a steady queue during the morning rush, especially near the on-ramps to Highway 174. Drivers should allow an extra 10 minutes and consider alternative routes such as Boulevard St. Laurent or Rue St. Denis to bypass the bottleneck. Aside from that, the rest of the city's arteries are moving smoothly. The Autoroute network, including Autoroute 15 and Autoroute 24, reports no delays and surface streets like Rue Shairbrook and Avenue du Parc are clear. On the transit side, the SDM is operating on a holiday schedule for St. Jean-Baptiste Day. Buses run on reduced frequencies and the Green Line runs every 15 minutes instead of the usual 10. Metro service remains on track but expect fewer trains during peak periods. Overall, traffic is light outside the Montreal Road work zone, and the afternoon should stay relatively calm.
Cirque du Soleil's Echo Photo Exhibition is lighting up Time Out Market Montreal right now, inviting visitors to step behind the curtain and glimpse the magic moments the audience never sees. If you're hungry for flavor, Les Premier's Vendredi Street Food Festival is rolling through the city this weekend, offering more than 40 food trucks with free admission, perfect for a spontaneous bite and a taste of Canada's biggest street food gathering. And for Cantonese barbecue lovers, Dobie and Andy has just opened its doors inside Time Out Market, serving the legendary roast that made the original spot a downtown icon. On a rainy afternoon, the market also rolls out free kids, workshops, and interactive stations, making it the go-to shelter for families looking for fun without stepping outside. All three are happening today, so whether you're chasing art cravings or a new dining hotspot, the market has you covered. And now here's Jason with sports.
Here's the latest on Montreal's hockey headlines and upcoming draft moves. The Canadiens are outlining their strategy for the 2026 NHL draft, evaluating 10 prospects they could target in the first round. Management is also weighing 3 possible trade destinations for goaltender Samuel Montembeault as they shape a roster for the coming years. Carey Price appeared on the projected 2026 Hockey Hall of Fame ballot, joining a slate of former greats under consideration. Former teammate P.K. Subban praised him as the best goaltender of his era, fueling discussion of Price's lasting legacy in Montreal. The Hockey Hall of Fame announced that Carey Price has been officially inducted, joining Pecker Rinn, Keith Tkachuk, and Cindy Curley in the 2026 player class. The Canadiens' Legends enshrinement caps a career marked by championships and record-setting performances.
Dynacare has just opened its new advanced medical laboratory in Lavalle's Biotech City, a hub that's quickly becoming the heart of the region's life science innovation. With an investment of over $5 million, the state-of-the-art facility adds cutting-edge testing and research capacity, giving doctors and researchers faster, more accurate results right here in Greater Montreal. The lab will partner with local universities, biotech startups, and hospitals, creating jobs and drawing talent to the neighborhood. For patients, that means shorter wait times and more personalized care. For the community, it cements Lavalle's reputation as a scientific engine driving the city forward. It's a reminder that Montreal's health future is being built right next door. And stay tuned for a heartwarming look at Emma Maltais committing to Montreal Victoire with a 2-year deal. We'll be right back.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on gmna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
The celebration is in full swing today as crowds gather at Parc Maisonneuve for Quebec's National Day Parade, music and family festivities lighting up the park. Thousands of families and local performers line the streets with music, dance, and a vibrant fleur-de-lis display as officials raise flag. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks, CJ Waterhouse. I'm standing on the wide green lawn of Parc Maisonneuve, where bright blue and white flags flutter above a sea of families gathered under a clear summer sky. The scent of grilling sausage and fresh maple sugar wafts from the line of food trucks, while children dart between inflatable castles and a brightly painted carousel. At 12, the children's area opens, and parents spread picnic blankets, their conversations punctuated by the upbeat rhythm of a local folk band. The parade is set to roll through the park at 2, marching bands in traditional costumes, dancers twirling to the beat of accordion and drum, and a flotilla of decorated floats bearing the fleur-de-lis. As evening settles, the grand show lights up the stage from 8 to 10:30, featuring fireworks that paint the night in red, white, and blue. For many families, this day is a living reminder of Quebec's vibrant culture and shared pride. Carl Dumont, virtually at Parc Maisonneuve.
On a Saturday afternoon on St. Laurent Boulevard, families spill onto the sidewalks, a kite dances above a park bench, and a line of cyclists rolls past a cafe. In the middle of that scene, a CAA Quebec volunteer stands beside a portable sign that reads, "Slow down, enjoy the summer." She watches as drivers ease their foot off the accelerator, nodding to pedestrians and letting a school bus merge without a rush. The reminder comes after road fatalities climbed to 100 last summer, a stark reminder that every extra second of patience can save a life. One driver, a young teacher returning from a weekend market, recalled how a wave to a child crossing the street made him pause, and he left the intersection feeling lighter, knowing his choice mattered. Across the city, the ripple spreads. A delivery truck slows for an elderly couple, a teenager waits for a cyclist at a stoplight. Those small acts stitch the community tighter, turning ordinary routes into shared moments of care. It's proof that courtesy on the road can turn a summer drive into a celebration of safety.
On a crisp Thursday morning in the Myland, a modest community center on St. Lawrence Street prepared to host an English-language debate that would have brought together the leaders of 5 major Quebec parties. The invitation had been extended to all, but 2 of the party heads politely declined, citing scheduling conflicts. As the clock ticked toward the scheduled start, the organizers, a trio of volunteers from the local university, turned the empty podium into a makeshift forum. They invited residents strolling by the bakery to share their thoughts on the upcoming fall election. A retired schoolteacher spoke about the importance of bilingual education, while a young software developer offered a hopeful vision of greener transit. The spontaneous conversation, recorded on a single camera laptop, drew a small crowd that lingered over coffee, laughing as they compared the earnestness of the impromptu speakers to the polished debates they usually watch on television. The moment reminded everyone that civic engagement does not always need a grand stage. A simple gathering can spark the same curiosity and respect for diverse opinions. Montreal's dialogue lives on, one neighborhood conversation at a time.
Thanks for joining us, Montreal. It was a privilege to share the excitement of Carey Price's induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame and the other stories shaping our city. We appreciate your attention and look forward to bringing you more news tomorrow on the lunch break. See you then.